Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Long Distance Stitchers. My name is Megan.
I am also vegan,
This is our channel about cross stitch, and apparently we've made 40 of these, or we're about to make our 40th one, which seems
which is who,
ridiculous,
who knew
but
we could be so consistent in something.
yeah. And we're a little bit late this month because it was a tough month for the Megans. So we apologize for being late, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And I had an opportunity to finish one more thing. So actually,
There you go. I stitched on a ridiculous number of things this month. It's kind of overwhelming when I pile them all up.
yeah, I don't have as much to show because I am obviously just trying to finish things. So I'm on track for that. It's been a good month for stitching.
Yeah,
Uh,
a good month for stitching, nothing else.
all right. We do have cards today.
Mhm.
Do you want to start?
Sure. I pulled from my IKEA tarot deck, which is not made by IKEA, but it's IKEA themed.
I noticed your one the other day was an IKEA card, and I was like, I don't remember you telling me about that. That's fun.
I was influenced by Helen to buy this. She did not end up getting her own, so
Oh, that's so
it's a-okay. I
funny.
really like it. It's really cute. The back of the cards.
Oh, I love that
And
actually.
they've got, you can't tell with just one, but I can pull out a stack. They've got a holographic edge to them too.
Oh,
So
that
it's
is
really
cool.
fun. But I pulled the Eight of Trapped Lug, aka the Eight of Wands. So the dowels are the wands, and the Eight of Wands is a card that tells you that things are moving really fast and that you need to go with the flow. Um, and so I'm just going to go with the flow with all the things that are moving really fast.
Go with the flow.
There's not much else to do right now.
Yeah.
What did you pull?
I also pulled a wand. I pulled the Two of Wands, which is from my Folklore Tarot deck,
That's
which I
pretty.
should get out more because it's so pretty. Um, yeah, so the Two of Wands, it means plans, progress, and discovery. And I also looked up more. So the Two of Wands suggests that you have power and control over your situation and the ability to shape your future. It can indicate the start of a new project, venture, or relationship, or the expansion of something already in progress,
Ooh.
like my job that is constantly in peril. Uh, the Two of Wands advises you to make informed decisions based on your goals and values. So that seems pretty positive. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Just don't get to the Eight of Wands point.
No,
Get off that path before you.
everything's moving so fast and I don't know what's going on.
Yep. Yep. You don't want everything changing every single day.
No.
Do not recommend.
I like making plans and like the problem with having a job that is basically like month to month, like I don't know what's going to happen, is that like I haven't really been able to plan beyond a month.
Yeah.
Um, so I would like to know for sure what's going to happen for the rest of the year. Even if it's like the answer is no, you have to go back to your old job, at least I'll know
And you know. Then you
and
know.
I can plan for that. But right now it's like I don't know what to do. So anyway, it's fine. It's good. It's great. I love it. Speaking of jobs, what did you finish this month?
I finished 5/6 things this month. So first up, I'm going to show my Stitch for Pride 2025. So this is why it's 5/6. Mandy helpfully pointed out that I
Yeah,
had missed the Ankh. So I refinished February and added the Ankh in.
yeah.
And then so March was uh, Qi Jin, a Chinese nationalist revolutionary feminist poet whose writings talk a lot about like relationship to her gender, right? Very interesting, the stuff that Dee pointed us to for learning this month. I don't like going too deep into it because if you didn't pay for it, you don't get it. But
Right.
Dee did this beautiful dragon with a sword, um, and the lines at the top are meant to evoke the feeling of um, poetry because when it's written in Chinese
Oh, okay.
symbols, it's linear like that. So it's very cool.
That is really cool.
And the floss from Al, which I didn't pull out my thing, so I can't remember what the name was, but I'll use the bark of a tree that is found in um,
China.
found in China to dye that floss. So that's
That's
a
really cool.
naturally dyed floss. Yeah, very cool. And then
Hmm.
I will admit I haven't even opened the April one, so I have no idea what's coming for me next. I've seen it; it is yellow, but I
I
will.
I think it's na indigenous, native,
Okay.
American, indigenous, something like that. I think so.
Yeah,
But
I'll
yeah.
when I get to it later this month, I will
Yes,
do
because
my
I remember
learning and I will know more then. So
I think the person is a two-spirit person. I think I
okay.
remember reading that. Something like that. Yeah. It looked really cool. I've been opening them all and then like sort of like looking through some of the stuff even though I haven't started stitching yet, but yeah, just because I'm nosy.
Yeah. One of my two pick-a-whips in March. Um, the prompt was a dark fabric or floss. So I chose Blackbird by Blackbird Designs, which is part of the Magical Mystery Tour. So the Beatles themed ones. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it in the light. Oh yeah, there you go, a little bit. This floss is a mist dye of Cousin It from Roxy Floss,
Mm.
and those little pops of blue throughout it. And I bought it specifically to do this pattern because I thought it would be really fun because blackbirds are not actually black, right? They are all sorts of colors. So I thought that blue was really nice. Anyway,
Mhm.
this is on Picture This Plus Brash, I think, 32 count, because I started it back in the day when 32 count is what I was buying and stitching on. Um, it I didn't look up. I'm pretty sure this was a 2020. It's either a 2021 or a 2022 start that had just like
Oh,
a tiny bit and then took like 3 days maybe to finish.
yeah.
Um, now
Sorry,
and the pattern will go to Megan in June. Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about those the other day because
Hmm.
they said something about the yellow submarine and
I have that too. I gotta stitch it.
yeah, me too.
Um,
Someday.
then my other pick a whip was Friend Chooses. So Megan chose on our last episode, if you watched us, My Toonies by Dee's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Cartery. So I finished that. This fabric is a Roxy Floss Co. I don't know if it's part of their regular line or not. I got it at Stitch North 2 years ago.
Mm.
Um, and then it's the called for Brindle Needle flosses, with the exception of I used Whisper for the little baby loon. Um, I love this so much. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, um, but I love it. It's done. It's beautiful.
Hmm. It is
The
actually.
pattern is going to Nati. It was supposed to be in the mail like 2 weeks ago. I did not make it to the mailbox, and it has just been sitting ever since. So I will get that to you soon, Nati. Yeah, that is those. I also worked on, but I do not have it anymore because I sent it off to the next person. But in my Team 14 count round robin, this year we're doing Stitch It For Me. So not all doing one designer.
Yep.
This is Danielle's Spirits of the Dead from Modern Folk Embroidery. So it's a project Danielle had started and had just sort of stalled out on. So she sent
Mhm.
it to me. I did a big chunk of the words. Danielle had some of the words in there, but I finished off all the words and now I've sent it off for Michelle and then Mandy to put some stitches in as well. And it'll make it back to Danielle either completely finished or just about finished. So then we can wrap it up and get it out of her whip pile. So this was really nice to stitch on. The fabric is Jody from Steel City Stitchers fabric. Um, just using a crew. Yeah, it was fun. And I am not like a big fan of word stitching, but it wasn't too horrible. Maybe because I knew that it was for somebody else, or maybe just I don't know. It was okay. I was doing it for my morning
Those
stitching.
look like pretty good letters, pretty standard
Yeah, yeah. It was easy to follow the
in 14 count.
find a path. Yeah, and 14 count. That does help. Okay. And then my other finish this month was my um 30 Days of Tatriz project. So the
Oh,
pattern is called Ramadan Nights by Lena Thobe on Instagram. And so she sent every day a little chunk of the pattern, and it was just a nice meditative reflection during Ramadan. I think I'm gonna either um, finish it into a wall hanging, or if I can find a frame, I haven't measured it yet to see if it's a standard size or not.
mhm.
And then this one I think I'll take to work just because I like it. It can go on my little shelf where I
Yeah,
have all the things, and then I look at them and go, oh yes, life isn't so terrible. Um, but it was really fun to stitch this.
it is really pretty.
Yeah, and if you go to her Instagram profile, she's got pictures. She asked people to submit them. I didn't have my act together, but of a bunch of finishes of it, and you can see all the color choices that people made, and some of them are like very bold and beautiful. And I'm like, do I stitch it again?
Maybe.
And no, I'm okay right now. So that is everything that I finished this month, which
Oh,
I'm proud of myself.
huh.
Little projects.
I also did quite a bit of stitch finishing. I finished Sailor's
You
Delight.
did.
Sailor's Delight.
Mhm.
Um, by D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. And the water is kind of sparkly. I used Etoile for the water here. Um, and I think the called for, and then also the birds are a little bit sparkly.
It looks so good.
And this fabric is 28 count Sally's Dream from Fangirl Fibers, and I still have like basically half of it left. So
Yeah, you can do something else.
very excited about what else I can put on there. And then my second finish of the month was a long time coming. So this is Funky Menagerie. This is by Lundy Stitches. Megan gave me this pattern, and um, yeah, it's called for DMC. This is 18 count, just like gray Ada. I don't even know if it had a name. Um,
It looks so good.
I didn't fill in these little guys because I think they look fine
Yeah,
without it, but I did fill in the corners. But anything else with that?
I love it.
I love it too. I have a frame picked out for these two, or frames picked out for these two that I think will work. They just need to be like washed and ironed and whatnot. All right, and then my third finish was actually supposed to be an April finish, and it is Flamingo All the Way by Hands On Design. And this is mostly the call for DMC. And then I used Flamingo by Roxy Flosco for the flamingos, because of course.
Yeah, obviously.
And I didn't do, there's like little like one single stitch in between a bunch of these that I just was
You
like,
don't miss it.
I'm so over this at this point. There was a lot of backstitch in there too that I was just like, I just need to get this done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pretty much finished this at peel stitching. It was literally just the backstitching left to do when I got home.
We love it.
There we go. And I'm passing the pattern on to Donna, who I sat with at Stitch North in October. And then she was at Peel Stitchin', and then we were chatting, and she was like, "Oh, what are you working on?" And I showed her my flamingos, and she was like, "Oh, I have the other two of that, but I never got that one." And I was like, "Well, do you want this one? Because I'm gonna
Obviously,
leave
this
it."
one's for you. Yeah.
I was like, "I'm gonna leave it on the freebie table, or what, something, right?" Like, so I'm gonna bring that to a mutual friend at Stitch North. Anyway, so this is Got the Morbs. This is by Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery.
Oh,
This
good.
was also a long time coming because everyone else pretty much finished this like when it came out. But anyway. This is 28 count Rosewood Lugana by Picture This Plus, and this is DMC 154, which looks really great there. And it matches my hair.
It does.
I think this is my favorite color of DMC.
It's really good.
It's a very me color. Yeah. I finished this at my last guild day. And everyone kept coming by and being like, "Oh, that's so nice. What is that fabric? What is that floss?" And I was like, "Rosewood, 154." And then one lady was, she didn't like the skulls. She thought they were scary. It's like, but it's morbs, morbid. It's the whole point. And yeah, those are all my finishes.
That's fantastic. Did you start anything this month?
No, I'm not starting anything all year. Remember?
I thought we
Well,
were going to have one mini start in June.
we'll start one thing in June.
Yeah.
And I've decided I'm going to bring one project to Stitch North, and if I finish it, I get to start something that I
Okay.
kit up there. That will
That's
be my
fun.
prize.
Yeah. I like
But
that.
yeah, other than that, yeah. Did you start any?
I so a couple I guess I had started I had like my first day of the Ramadan Tetris, I think when we filmed last time. Um but essentially that was a start and finish in March.
Mm.
Um and the Stitch for Pride March is a start and finish in March. But I have previously shown you my Autumn Quaker, which was a start, but now I have been working on Pam's, and so I have to do 4 motifs. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Um,
Mhm.
and then it will be sending along to Rachel. So this is Autumn Quaker Round Robin, which we are doing. Um, we started it for Steph Pocket Roddy's birthday last year, and then the postal strike delayed our first thing, so we're a little behind, but we are working towards getting things out. And so we're focusing on the big motifs, and then we're supposed to do the little ones as we are able slash interested in. I have not touched the little ones yet because I'm focused on getting the big ones out. I want this in the mail by next weekend because then after that life's going to be busy again for a little bit. But so I've got this beautiful green one I put in, and this took like a full week of stitching. It is a chonker. This is
Yeah.
I forget if it's 36 or 40 count, but it's a small fabric. And then I
Mhm.
had been working on this, and then it was my turn of Monopoly, so I got very distracted, which
Mm.
you will see. But so I've got just a little bit here in back stitching, and then the one in the bottom. So I think I'll be able to put those in and probably do one or two of the small motifs for Pam, so that there's a little bit more progress than just the big ones for when she gets back. But um, I do like this pattern is so good.
It's really
It's
nice.
so
I
good.
really want to stitch it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this will go on to Rachel, who's been working on mine. And then I will get Steph's from Pam for the next rotation. So we love it. And then yesterday, I made a start, and I was planning to start this anyways, but then in my Stitching Monopoly, which if you haven't heard about Stitching Monopoly, I'm not quite sure how you found us because we're,
It
we're
seems
not
like
we're
everyone.
not that big on the Flosstube, and the
Yeah.
people who might lead you here are also Stitching Monopoly. Anyways, um, It is being hosted by Vintage So Gal, Cat Yoy, and a couple other folks. I gotta turn this off on my Zoom. I do not need my hand up. Thank you, Zoom. Um, but essentially, you're playing Monopoly with some other stitchers and you're rolling and you stitch different things depending on where you land. Anyways, I had one yesterday where I didn't have to stitch for my whip list that I have in the game. And the theme was animals. So I was planning to start this anyways. So I pulled it out and started it. This is the frame for the Extraordinary Bird Sal from Lola Crow Cross Stitch. And so I put 501 stitches in it yesterday. It took longer than it probably should have if I had just stuck to doing the black, but I really wanted to get our little Dracula parrot friend in here. And
Mhm.
that has like 7 colors in it. Thank you, Lola Crow. Um, but I'm already in love with it. This fabric is Darling by Fortnite Fabrics, so not available. Sorry if you're falling in love with it. It is beautiful. It is very similar to the called for fabric. And so I think I did a good dupe, and so I've been able to more or less. I have a few DMC colors that I can't find, which are probably in other projects, but I might just go get a get a few
Go for
saved.
them.
But otherwise, right, I've kitted it up from stash.
Yeah.
Um, I'm so excited for this.
It
Like
looks so good already. I do
if
really like
I had had the bandwidth to start the haunted aquarium last year, I think I would have done it. At this point, I'm not sure that I will ever stitch that pattern.
it. That's fair.
Right? I don't know. Maybe I'll pull it out. We'll see how life goes.
Mhm.
I do there are a few of the little critters on it that I do want to stitch.
Yeah.
But the birds and then like when the frame actually came because I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do it." And like in the back of my mind I was like, "Unless it's freaking ridiculous." And the frame
Yeah.
like it's 6,000 stitches. It's not even like
Yeah.
I feel like I should go back and look at how many were in the aquarium one and see because that one feels like it's a lot more, but maybe it actually isn't.
Yeah. It's weird because it's got like three different, like very ornate sections that have three different colors in them. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, this has like it's got a band across the middle that's quite detailed, and then you come down to the bottom. Like there's a lot going on in it, but it just feels very reasonable
yeah.
for something
So
that you have 6 weeks to stitch, right? Like in one day, I did 500 stitches on it.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you made a good chunk of
And if I hadn't had to do my other Monopoly stitching and had just had a day to start it, right? Like I would have even more progress because I stitched 1,500 other stitches more or less yesterday too.
yeah.
So um, that is my aviary. Expect to
It
see
looks really
more.
good.
We have until mid-May to have the frame done. So maybe by the time we film again, because it will probably be the second weekend in May because we both have obligations the first weekend in May and not the same ones. But maybe I will be done by the time you see it again.
Yeah.
So those are my starts.
Whips.
Whips.
I'll
What
do
else
my
did you stitch on this month?
so. So one of the things I'm gonna try to finish this month is it's a Mermaid Life from Tiny Modernist, which I bought the first time I went to Gita's
Okay.
in like 2021. Like, yeah,
Long time ago.
long
I
time ago.
remember you going. You took a grand adventure.
Yeah. So I had this part basically completely finished.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I just have worked down here since the beginning of April.
The
A little bit
colors are
less.
so
I
good.
did I did a little bit in March. So yeah, it's gonna be yeah. So I basically just have this this part.
Just a bunch of sea creatures.
Yeah, a bunch of little fishy friends, and the fishy friends go fast,
Mm-hmm.
which I know from doing the under the sea.
Yeah.
It's like basically once you get all your colors loaded up on your needles, and you just kind of
Yeah.
and then once you know the shape of the fish, you can just do a bunch without thinking too much about it. And then I got out another one yesterday that I'm going to try to finish this month. So this is Kaleidoscope from your friend and mine, Miriam Marumi Design. This was in just cross stitch December 2023. and I started it last year at some point. I don't remember exactly when. And I basically had up to here last night, so I just did this part of
Yeah.
it, and then this is, this is the whole shape of it. So it's a lot smaller than I thought. I feel like I convinced myself that it was huge because I like triple checked that that was actually the end of the of the border. I was like, there's no way, and then I was like, nope, that's right. So,
Well, that's the thing, Miriam's patterns. They're either very reasonable or ginormous. There's no in between, which is like, we love it. We love it.
and
They
this is
all have a
on.
perfect border on them.
Yeah, the border is so fun. Like I do love these little doodads. This is on 18 count something, one of a kind, I think, from Roxy Flosco, and the flosses are all Roxy. So the called for is DMC E12, but I didn't have all of those, so I'm using Roxy flosses, which
It
are like
looks great. It looks great.
and then this is just like regular black. I do have DMC. I do have a Toile Ecru, which is like the inside border, so I'm going to do that. So that'll be
It'll have just a
sparkly.
little sparkle. Yeah. Nice.
Mhm.
Um, I just had like a brain squirrel moment speaking of Miriam and her patterns and how awesome they are. Have you watched Nitya's latest Flosstube and the
Yes.
like
The
she
like
took
sampler, the
the
sampler,
sampler of
yeah, the
Miriam's
dot
patterns?
sampler.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. So good. I just
I
Nithya
definitely was like,
super.
that's a really good idea,
Yeah. Yeah.
considering how many she puts out in a year.
Yeah. I love
Um,
it.
it is really cool.
Mhm.
Oh, imagine doing that as like a tail ends project.
Oh, that would
Tail
be
end
fun. Yeah.
sampler. Yeah.
Yeah. Get those brain juices going.
Not that I need to start any more projects.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and
I,
this is all called for DMC. This is 16 count Glacier by Picture This Plus. I was supposed to be Calypso, but they didn't have that, and now I have so much Calypso. It's
oh,
hilarious.
good. Is that all your stitching?
That's it. That is all my whips.
That's a great number of whips. Um, it's a
All
reasonable
whip,
number of
whips that
whips.
I've worked on this
Yeah.
month. Yeah.
Okay. So since I last saw you, I put in a very small amount, but some progress on my moon phase belt pull. I do need to be more consistent about stitching this, whether it's for a moon phase or not. But if I want to get it done this year, so I brought down the borders a bit. I put a little. I think I had to finish this moon. I don't think this one was done. So I'm into the full moon is the next one. But I do need to bring down the border more too. But this fabric is Aurora Borealis from your friend of mine, Kaylee at the sewing shop. It is gonna be freaking beautiful. Um, I love it, and I just need
Yeah,
to
look,
spend more time with it.
that big
Yeah,
moon is looking so good now.
yeah,
That it's all filled in like that.
it's excellent. I have in my little stitchy planner that I worked on Rebirth. I think that I did not do a ton more since you saw it though. I think I just worked down this border on the side.
Hmm.
Um, this is one that I do need to spend time with. So the pattern is from these 20 and Uncanny Kari. This was from the first Bird box, so I decided I needed to stitch some older Bird box ones as well. Helen is keen to stitch this, and so I'm going to, because I'm not planning to do Michelle's in this floss colorway. I like the other colorway for the pocket book peacocks. So I'm going to pass the floss, the other part of this fabric, and the pattern to Helen when I go see her in October. So I have a deadline so that I can make that happen. So
Well, you'll definitely finish.
yeah. Um, and then as we talked about last time, I'm sort of trying to do, I did not succeed this month, but it was a big one, a band a month in my Afshan sampler so that I can get it done by the end of 2025. So I did, you know, more than 50% of that band, but it is a chunky band. I'm really loving how the color is coming out in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've put this floss in. I think it was the last floss left that I hadn't used yet. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's in there.
yeah, so then all of the colors are there, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to put the rest in. But um, they start getting shorter, right? Because now I'll be putting
Yeah.
in the vertical ones, so I can finish this off. At least I'll get myself caught up. Um,
Oh no, it looks really good. I like that.
but I'm really really loving this. Speaking of how awesome Miriam's designing it, but it's just so good. So that is my Afshan sampler. And then I pulled out one day, I don't even remember what I was doing. I was working on something down here and I finished it. I honestly don't remember what it was. And I didn't want to go upstairs for another project. So I looked on my shelf behind me of my whips, and this was already sitting on a Q snap, which I don't know how it had been on a Q snap for that long, but it was. So I got this out and started working on it. This is Under the Sea, although the pattern that I have is labeled Ocean View. So, but
Mm.
I'm sure it's called Under the Sea. So I had just, if you remember, a little bit like dolphins and some seagulls, and maybe I think the top of the moa moa because it's the same colors as the dolphins and the seagulls. And so I have finished the top 10, 20 rows, I think, of the stitches. And so I'm just going to work it down like that now. But as I use colors and then need to put them in other places, I'm clearly skipping ahead as well to finish
Mhm.
off the length. But I am loving this. It is a ton of color changes. I'm tempted to get one of those things where you leave your needles threaded because the colors repeat the whole way down. Um, but I also, I have had Markup RX since they went to like a subscription model. I bought it when it was still a one time lifetime price and never really used it. Then I started using it when I started my Van Gogh Meets the Fellowship, and now I'm putting all sorts of things in there and like stitching with that. I don't know.
It makes it really easy.
Makes it really easy. It tells you where everything is. You're not hunting for it, right? So, yeah. The fabric is 18 count, I believe. Calypso, not the same Calypso Megan mentioned, but a different Calypso. This is from Kaylee at the Sewing Shop. And like, I just highly recommend that everybody needs this in their stash because look at that. Yeah. This is also a Kaylee at the Sewing Shop needle minder. It is Captain Canuck, and I feel like we need him more than ever right now.
Yeah.
Um, and then um, I've also been trying to work on things when they have birthdays. So Beautiful Biomes had a birthday in March, so I brought it out and I did some work on the borders to bring it down to where I was stitching, and then I did the third band, which I didn't look up. Woodlands, I think.
Hmm.
Um, little owl and some deersies, a couple ladybugs, which look very familiar if you stitch the Natural World Sal. Yeah, and so this one is also on my year of whips, so I do need to spend more time with it. But it really like it didn't take very much to put in one of those bands, so I should just sort of like Afshan probably try and aim to do one a month, as it was designed for when Christy originally released it. This is Pixel Pixie Create or Pixel Pixie Pixel
Pixel Pixie cross
Pixel
stitch.
Pixie cross stitch. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Christy. That's just it's my brain. It's not you. Um, I'm stitching this with so this is a 40 count winter wren from Fox and Rabbit, and then the floss is hand dyed by Rolanda. It's a floss of the month pack, and I'm sort of gonna ombre it.
Hmm.
This was one color, and then this was the first color, the second color mix, and then this is the second color, and so then I'll do the second and the third, and so on down the thing. And then I picked the darkest color from the set to do the whole border, all the border in, so that it all sort of matches together. Although seeing some of the finishes of it, where people did like a different color for each biome, or like picked colors for what they were stitching on, those are really beautiful and colorful too. So, um, you know. you go, oh, maybe I should switch it up. But switching it up halfway through, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I think it'll look nice when it's done. I like
yeah,
the ombre effect.
yeah. And then I joined my Monopoly board halfway through the month ish. And you get a turn, and you have a turn, and you have to do things for your turn, which is great. But then it sort of is accumulating a lot of whips. So, of the remaining 6 that I have to show you, only one of them was not stitched for Monopoly. So, um, and I don't think I would have pulled any of them out this month, any of those 5, had it not been for Monopoly. So,
Yeah.
I put on my Monopoly board, you have to have things assigned to 22 different numbers. And then if you land on the square with that number, that's the project that you work on for whether you're buying something or paying rent. And then other squares, you can work on other things so long as they meet the theme. And so I put on my list of whips only the projects on my year of whips. So they're things that I've said that I want to finish this year. And so then they're getting the time from the Stitching Monopoly, which is great.
Mhm.
Um, so one of the ones that I had to stitch on was my Trans Pride tapestry. So this is from Dee's 20 Stitcher, 20 Stitches, and Uncanny Kari. This was their first cross stitch pattern based on art from Kari. It is beautiful and I love it. I'm stitching it on a 32 count. I always sugarlight, fancy rocks, fancy minerals, from Mislaid Pages. And so I have the outline of all the plants that are around the unicorn done. And then for my 500 stitches, I started to put in unicorn outline. So we've got the butt showing up there, essentially, hooves down here. Um, so I put in the 500 and then I think I finished a strand or something. So there's more than 500 there, but it looks beautiful. I am using this for my Pick a Whip April. One of the calls is 2023 starts. So I started in 2023. So my goal for that is going to be to get the rest of the unicorn outline done. So that then this project just needs fill in, which then makes it a really good travel project. Because I just need to know where the colors go, which is this. I don't need to look at the pattern, right? And I'm debating still whether or not I'm going to fill in the unicorn. But I feel like I will get the unicorn on and then I will do all the hair and then I will decide if the body needs anything at all. But I love it so much.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
So that will see more work in April, whether or not it gets called on the Monopoly. And then I also worked on my Ink Circles Half the Fun, which last year I got to stitch on, I think it was Trina's for a round robin, which was like, oh yeah, I have this. Why don't I never work on it? Because I have too many things. That's why I never work on things. But this got called. So again, I put in 500 stitches. So I had the balloons in the middle. So I put in this train and then, there's a plane here and a motorbike, car. I don't know if I think it's a unicycle. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to figure out what's going on. But for 500 stitches, I put that in. This is a 32 count picture. This plus, I always forget the color of the name of the fabric. It's a light green. Legacy. No, I don't think it's Legacy. I don't know. And I'm stitching it over one. So it's teeny tiny. So this is the top corner, right? So if we think about it's just going to be this tiny little, like 4 by 4 inches when it's done. But look how much I got done. 500 stitches.
Yeah. That's like that whole quarter almost.
Right? And I did that in a day, basically.
Yeah.
Like 2 days, but a day. So it would take no time at all if I just sat down and did it. That's the story of my life.
Yeah.
I would say I got more like an 8 done,
Days.
not a quarter. Because there's, right, like there's still stuff before you get to the middle on each side, but still significant.
Still, that's
Yeah.
considering you already had like the middle done. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then next up, so this one is not from Monopoly, but Helen and I spent some time last weekend working on our Angels of Love. And here she is. So I spent all my time working on cape. So I brought down, I think, the side, the gold, I had it over here, and then bringing down, just starting to bring down the cape. And so if I'm going to keep working down and not just focus on the cape, I have to start adding in beads next time. So that's a decision that I need to make imminently. Um, or I can just focus on filling in the cape and then come back to the beads decision. So I will
Mhm.
make that decision soon so that when we work on it for April, which we haven't decided when yet, yen wet, um, I will be mentally prepared for beading if that's what I decide to do. But
Yeah.
she is looking stunning. So the pattern is lavender and lace. It's not impossible to get, but it is becoming harder to get this one. Some of the lavender lace, very easy to find, some not so much. I'm stitching it on 28 count, like tea dyed Monaco. I didn't tea dye it. That's you buy it. It comes that color. Because I started her back before I had a lot of other fabrics. I probably would have picked different.
Mm.
But I also think that she is gorgeous and she doesn't need anything complicated to, right? Like
Yeah.
the dress is gonna do it for us.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna come to England with me so
Mm-hmm.
that Helen and I can do a little photo shoot. We're kind of hoping that will be close to the midpoint.
Yeah, if you're
Um,
yeah, that would be cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
which then also makes me think that I should start putting in the beads so that it's consistent with
Yeah.
hers, right? So she is like, so if I'm here, Helen's like here, right? I think she's
Mhm.
working on that last bit of the, she's in here somewhere. That's still quite a bit. I don't know if we'll do that by October, but we'll try. We'll try.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Um, if we can't make it, we'll just have to get together again, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, three more to go. Like this is a mini whip parade. You're welcome. So my next Monopoly roll. So part of the reason I have so many for Monopoly is that in my most recent turn, I had to stitch on 4 projects because I rolled doubles 3 times in a row. So the Extraordinary Birds was one of them, and then the next 3 projects were part of this too. So I worked on Shores of Hawkrun Hollow. Here's the bigger picture, which I don't think I've touched since 2023. It might even be 2022. I'd have to go and really look at it. So it has been a hot minute since I worked on this. But it is on my year of whips to get done this year. And if I'm going to get it done, I do need to spend time working on it. But here it is in all its glory. So I am 2/3 of the way done. Um, I really got to learn from you and get some clips. Uh, right. So this one, I took the words out. I put some other critters in there. Just because I don't know who Lieutenant whoever is, right? Like it's fine. Um, and so I started this. So I needed to put in 500 stitches. So I put in a little over 500. I did the border, which is almost 400, and then because I had the DMC out, 310 out, I put in the birds. This I am
Mhm.
stitching on a vintage Stormy Clouds. So it's a printed like art
Yeah.
fabric. It's a 25 count Lugana, and I'm doing it 1/1 on that. Um, and I am using the DMC, not the MPIs for it. It is beautiful. I love it. I'm sure it will see more progress. It's got a couple spots on my Monopoly board, and as I finish smaller projects from that, I will be putting the big ones on more times, so then even more
Mhm.
likely to come up. Um, we are a third of the way through 2025. I'm not a third of the way through my finishes, so have to figure out how I'm going to manage it.
Mhm.
Another Monopoly call was for something with embellishments, and I don't have anything on that with list that has embellishments. So I pulled out my Octopus's Treasure Cave, my chatelaine project that if you've been watching this year, you will have seen. I started it in January, and I finished the black work in this wave and the fancy stitches, the road stitches in this quarter of the border. So I got to do the black work in both, and then there's a bunch of beads and things that come out of the corners, but I'm going to do the beading on this at the very end. So once I'm done the black work, I will be able to move in and start doing like the jellyfishes,
Mhm.
which is exciting. So I dyed this myself. It's a 28 count Monaco, and then I dyed it.
Looks
I love
really
it
good.
a lot.
Yeah, that looks really good.
So,
I like the color, like green.
oh yeah, it's beautiful. Um,
Is that a fancy floss?
it's Gloriana silk.
Yeah, there you go. That's why.
I think
That's every penny.
yeah, everything on here right now is either Gloriana or Dinky Dyes, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There is DMC eventually in it, but at this point it's all the really fancy stuff. So
Hmm.
okay, last one. So for my last roll, I did not get doubles, thankfully. Um, but I needed to stitch on my prairie fairies. So I'm working on this one, the stitching fairy on that beautiful blue bird. This is on a 32 count picture of this plus as well. And I also don't know off the top of my head what the fabric name is. Sorry, I've got dog hair on it. It is 1/1, which is what is called for the prairie fairies because they're fairies, they're tiny.
Hmm.
And so I had like her head and her skirt. So I added in like her bodice, her scarf or wing. I'm not 100% sure. It must be a wing. The little hoop, and then put in all the stitches that you see there on the bird. I technically didn't have the eye and the beak on it when I finished my 500 stitches, but then I had a little bit of that floss color just sitting there, so I threw those in quickly rather than putting the floss back on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 500 stitches, got a lot done on this, and I kind of feel like I should just keep her out and finish her at this point. Like, look at that.
Hmm.
There's not a ton to do
Like
there.
just like the back of the bird and
Yeah,
like the wing, kind of.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. My brain's a bit squirrely, so I'll either work on it or I won't. And you'll know the next time we film or
Fair enough.
on Instagram. That's everything. So, oh no, wait. Oh no, there's more. Just my tail end project,
Oh, yes.
which hasn't gotten a ton on it. I'm stitching Oddworld by Michelle Bendy. I thought it was suiting to use a Michelle pattern for my first tail end project since she was my influencer friend on starting one. So I couldn't even tell you 100% what the colors that I have added since the last time we saw each other is, but I've put in I know for sure like some of this stuff is coming in there.
Hmm.
But yeah, because I haven't really been like finishing a ton of things, it's not accumulating a lot very fast, but
Yeah.
we'll see how. And like the things I finished, right? Like they're not super colorful. There's not a ton going in here. So we'll see what happens, but it does feel like it's very close to a finish. Like if I wasn't using just tail ends, it wouldn't take very long to do it. But
Hmm.
if I'm doing 5 stitches here and 5 stitches there, it takes a minute to get done. So,
Yeah, depending on how long your tails are.
yeah, yeah, right. Okay, that's it. That was almost 20 projects that I touched this month.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it's 19. I didn't recount. I had thought I would hit 20, but there was a couple things that I stitched on in March, but you saw them in our last floss tube, and I
Oh
have
yeah,
not touched them since, so they didn't count. Um,
that's fair.
that's 1 month, 1 month, all those things. And
That's
like,
I mean, and you got some good progress on the things that you touched. It wasn't
that's
just
what I
like,
was gonna say. It's not piddly progress, right? Like it's there. You
yeah,
can see that things have changed. So
absolutely.
maybe Monopoly is the ticket.
Yeah, maybe I'll join next year if I.
They're still like, if you want to join one, they're making boards. You just tell them you're interested, and when they have enough people, they make a new board.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying just like working on one thing till it's done.
Yeah, and that would not allow for
And I
that.
kind of like as I get close to like a finish with one thing, I'll like pick up something else and then like sort of
Yeah,
like alternate.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been really nice just like focusing on finishing things.
Did you purchase anything this month?
Oh boy, did I. So I did go to Peel Stitchin and I did buy some things there. Um, so first of all, I did a pre-order from Kimat Designs. Um, so the reason I had to do a pre-order is because Megan and I are going to share the patterns for Follow Me. So this is the Stitchy Pros one, and Megan has the Bendy Stitchy one.
Oh, I don't have it yet, but I
Oh,
will
she's
have it.
going to get it. Um, but yeah, so it is really through the silent fabric that one. And then since I didn't want to order just one thing, I also ordered, I think these. So I did order Michelle's Night Garden, and this was before I had even like decided if I was gonna do like get like the floss and stuff because I was like I'll just do it in like a different color just because I really like it. And then I also got this little turtle friend from Counting Puddles. He's so cute. He's carrying a present.
I like his toque.
And it's like a trans pride turtle. The light pink and the blue. Oh, maybe I'll do that on my the other part of
Oh
my
yeah.
fabric. And then when I was at Peel Stitchin, they had other stuff there to buy. So I got this one from Murray at Shaded Stitchery, and also this one from Stitchy
So good.
Pros. Very nice. And then I was going to go, so they weren't carrying. Oh, there it is. They didn't have um the Tiny Modernist one because she was also there. Like she had her own booth. So I kept being like, I should go up and just get it because I know I want it. But then I was like, I'm gonna buy a bunch of other stuff too. I just know I will. So I was like trying to hold off. And then I was like, maybe if I finish my flamingos today, that'll be like my treat. It's like I'll go buy something. And then I won it in a door prize. So I was like, well, that's a sign
Mhm.
that, yeah. So I got that one. So now I have four of the patterns. And then since I had decided to buy the patterns, um, I got the box as well. So it used to be, I swear when it was first on the website, it was like 50 something dollars for this floss pack. But then at the show, it was like 36. And I was like, well, that is a lot more reasonable. I swear it was like a lot more when they first posted it.
Huh.
But maybe it's crazy. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But anyway, so
36 is good because those are the super long.
yeah, these 20 yard skates, like that's a really good deal. So I had to get those. And then so a couple of our friends were also at the show. Kaylee from the sewing shop and Rolanda from Hand Dyed by Rolanda were there. So what did I get from them? I got a tiny little bag from Kaylee.
I love the tiny bags.
And I love this print. I've been eyeing this one for a while, and I just love the color and everything. So I was like, okay, I have to have that. And then from Kaylee, I wasn't planning on buying any fabric for her, but I do collect pieces of this Nothing Rhymes like with orange. Like apparently, I just need every piece of it that I can find.
It's
So
so
I got another one. So this one is also a long skinny piece. This one is 12 by 27. I think the other one that I have is 9 by 27.
okay.
Um, so I might use that for my fall animals instead. We'll see. And then I got this is another piece of Calypso. So this one is 25 count Lugana.
Love it.
So I now have three pieces of Calypso and three pieces of Nothing Rhymes with Orange
You're
in
prepared for anything.
different cuts and different counts and different like yeah,
Prepared. Yeah.
because you just never know what you're gonna need it for. And look how amazing. And I like the 25 because I can do like over one and it'll be like a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is a new one. So this one is also 25 count. And this one is called Biometric. And it's big. And it's like similar to Calypso, it's just like a little bit darker. Some
This is
part.
what it looks like on 40 count because this is my fabric of the month,
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
right? Like the difference between the linen and the Lugana, right?
It takes yeah, it's a lot darker. But
I'm in love with this. I
I really like it. I think it's cool. I think it'll be good for some under the sea
yeah.
thing, which we all know. I love to stitch. Um, and then from Rolanda, so she had a couple new colors too. She didn't have as much Ada as she usually has. She had a lot of linen, and I'm just sort of like, if I'm being honest with myself, I don't love linen. So this is 32 count Lugana. This is papaya,
Beautiful.
and that is pretty accurate how it looks there. It is bright. What will I put on it? Who knows? That's none of my business. And then I also got one of her pieces of Ada. Yeah, this is 18 count. And this is just called Pepto Pink. And
It's
yeah,
beautiful too.
I mean, it's pretty dang similar to that one that I'm doing Kaleidoscope on, which I know looks great with all kinds of colors on it. So, and then I also just couldn't resist. She had a few pieces of 36 count Lugana, which I really like as well, and so I had to get this one.
That's pretty.
It's so pretty, and you don't see a lot of 36 count even weave.
No, you don't.
This is the Moderna Lugana.
Beautiful.
And then I went over to Gamma's Treasures because I wanted to look at her retreat mats, which I really like. But all the ones that she had were very like pastel, kind of like muted colors. And I was like, why can't you make a retreat bag in this color? And she was like, well, I don't have any of that fabric left. And I was like, well, that's a good reason. But she was like, but I'll make some more like brightly colored retreat mats and bring them to Stitch North. And then I had to get this bag because
Yeah,
the last
bag screams Megan. So.
also is the exact same bag. It's the exact same fabric as this. I think I have two of these from Shiba too. I think I have two of these bags from her, and now I have one from Cam's Treasures, and it comes with a thread bed,
Yeah.
which I love. So, and then I'll have to buy a retreat mat when I see her.
Yeah, yeah. She's making them special for you. So.
And making it perfect for me. I'm gonna have to get it. Um, and then I sent a picture of Rolanda's fabric to my friend Megan, and she frantically said, "Is there any more?" So my friend Lindsay bought this. This is called Margarita, and I sent a picture of it too. Oh, see now it's not. That is not as bright as it is.
It's greener
It
and
is
brighter.
much greener. Yeah, it looks really yellow there. That's not, no, that's not accurate at all. But anyway, so she decided to get the 36 count linen of this. So
Mm.
I'm holding it for her until uh June. And then since I was there, I took a picture of the table and asked her if there was anything else she wanted, and she chose this one. That's pretty true to what it looks like.
They're so pretty.
A little, it's a corally kind of color. Yeah, it's really
I have no business buying fabric, especially if I'm not even there. But
and yeah,
alas,
alas. So this will be
I had to get a little taste before the tariffs make everything more expensive.
well, Rolanda's in Vaughan. You're not paying extra there.
Well, but if she gets things from America,
Oh, true.
it
Actually, yeah, I didn't even think about that. They have to
everything's going to be more expensive
pay
eventually.
more for the fabric overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruining our lives.
Yep.
Okay. And then speaking of fabric, so our friend Trina has been doing a little destashing, a lot of destashing
Yeah, Trina is
on the old Facebook. And
inspirational.
so one she posted this little chunk of Meyer from Picture This Plus, which is one of my favorite fabric colors as well.
Mhm.
Um I used up my entire piece with Quirky Breakers that I got in Florida, so I had to get more.
Needed more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is 28 count Lugana. So this is a slightly different, but just as good. And then she also was selling all of her cottage garden threads for a very reasonable price. So I jumped on that. So, and I looked through it and I actually don't have any of these already,
Wow, that's
which
great.
is surprising because I have been collecting cottage garden like crazy. So yeah, there's just, I mean,
Mhm.
if you've seen one, you kind of it's just like yeah. So
You're well
I'll
stocked.
be I'll be kitting up things with cottage garden as much as possible going forward. She also tried to bully me into buying bully me. She just like sent me the thing about the threadworks and I was like, I think I'm good. Because I had also already agreed to purchase this collection of sulky from her.
Mhm.
So now I have every color of Silky, and I did already have some of these, so now I have double, but like
That's
whatever.
not a
It
problem
just
because you
means
do
that,
eventually run out. You do
well,
you do
yeah,
empty
and
those.
that just means I'll be able to use them for like big samplers and stuff
Yeah.
without having to worry about it. So, and I have already kitted one thing up from here, which you'll see maybe soon. Who knows?
Beautiful.
And I like that it comes in a little suitcase.
Yeah, the cases are really great for them.
I didn't have a bag that this would fit in, so I was just like on the go train, like holding this like suitcase of thread. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have a few purchases too. So you saw my Kaylee fabric of the month, my biometric, which is beautiful. I also was inspired. So our friend Nettie had Kaylee do up fabric for uh, Stitch for Pride specifically.
Mhm.
Um, and so I needed a piece of that. So this is called Cornucopia, and so it's similar to the Rainbow Waterfalls, but like
More
speedier
drippy.
intervals.
Mhm.
Um, I have no idea what I'm gonna stitch on it, but I needed it, and it's beautiful. So,
Correct.
if you go to Stitching Nettie's Instagram, I think she's got it on Instagram. Maybe I saw
Yeah,
it
I did.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
But she has started her Stitch for Pride and it looks beautiful. And she's got a full rainbow repeat in the space that the Stitch for Pride will sit.
Didn't she do it on? She's doing it in black, right?
Yeah, black on
Yeah,
the
it was
rainbow
really
fabric.
good.
And then also from Kaylee, I got my bag of the month, which I'm doing mini bags. And it's got this beautiful pig on the inside and this rooster on the outside.
Oh, it's day.
And then just a little chick on the zipper pull.
Oh my God.
So these are great. Like this is a quirky Quaker project bag, but also it's good for just holding all your things inside your bigger project bags. So tiny bag of the month club, I highly recommend, especially if you're whipping down and emptying out your big bags and don't need any more tiny bags. My floss of the month from Rolanda came in, which I have said lots of times that I will never quit her. But as I'm looking at my Rolanda floss monster getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I'm like, maybe I should take a break. But
Yeah,
I haven't
month
taken
off or so.
the color. This is a purple. It's showing up much darker than it actually is, and then everything else is.
Oh yeah. It does look kind of just like black brown.
Yeah, they're just a little
Oh yeah, there we go. That's a little better.
beautiful as always. The Rolanda flosses. Um, and then I made 2 orders from Nashville Market after I was like, I'm not going to order anything from Nashville Market. I ordered with Jesse first. I did a pre order with Jesse, and that hasn't shipped yet because they needed to wait for some things to come in. And so that will be coming at some point in the next little while. But I also made an order with Top Knot Stitcher because they were carrying Jesse's pattern. So Jesse did not have their own patterns up for pre-sale on their website
Mm.
because they're giving the other shops right opportunity to sell them first. So I got heavy, so very heavy into transgender, which our friend Jazz did the model stitch for Jesse. Um,
Mm.
and it's hilarious, right? Hilarious, but also um, you got to make those statements when the opportunity arises. And I got Cacotheres, the sun mislikes me because the sun does mislike me. And this is just beautiful. So
Mhm.
those are going in my stash. I will stitch them at some point. Um, and then this, the Sea Apple Stitching Bag by A Gardener's Needle.
Oh yeah.
And it is Mermaid, Adam, and Eve. I don't know that I'm going to stitch Eve was tempted, the fruit was sweet. Adam sinned also, for he did eat necessarily. I'll see what I do.
Hmm.
But the bag itself,
Yeah, it's
like
very good.
that coral tree, that
Yeah. And
celestial
the
whale.
rail, yeah.
Yeah. And you stitch it in one thing, right? Like, so you stitch it and then you make the bag. I don't know that I want to make the bag. I might just do this, but reposition the whale so that it's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right.
That's a good idea.
I'll see. This is not an immediate start or anything like
Just sort
that.
of do like the top of that one and then the bottom of that
Well, this you stitch all in one piece, right?
one.
And then you keep going and you stitch this and then you sew it together, right? So
Oh,
they're not all right. Like this is upside down because it then turns over. Like this is the back
oh,
of the bag.
oh, I got you.
But I could do just this and just flip the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
right? And then I'm not stitching the words or all those anchors.
yeah.
We'll see. It will not be right now. It will be at some point in my future. But I love it. And
Yeah.
then this was not a market release. This is, I think, from last year. But Heartstring Samplery, we belong. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten we belong to one another. I've seen some people working on this lately, and I really liked it when it came out. I still really like it. It would make a great tail end project as well. So
Yes.
I was making the shipping worth it, right? All this stuff cost the same as if I had gotten one pattern shipped to me. So, and then I also got the Night Garden
Oh,
minder since I was ordering anyways. I resisted the floss holder. It was very hard, but I did resist. But like Jesse's gonna have my follow me and my Night Garden stuff that I ordered will be coming from Jesse. So I will have the needle minder to go with it now. That was my Top Knot Stitcher shop. I also got my quarterly Patreon gift from Deanna at Darlene and Whimsy. We got, she loves us and makes us stickers. Um, so we got the bee from like what is the pattern? It's not a Quaker. This one's not a Quaker.
It's like be happy
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's so cute. I'm gonna see if I can put this on one of my water bottles. And then we got Henrietta, the chicken from the Quirky Quaker. This one's paper. This one is not for water bottles.
Mm.
Our little friends. And then Deanna sent us, because everybody can always use more buttons, a little packet of buttons from her own stash. So those are my Deanna buttons. So I will use them on very special things.
Those are good
Thank
colors.
you, Deanna. Yeah, it's excellent. Um, yeah, it's a good little mix. I also really like the little hollow packet.
Mm-hmm.
Our dinosaur Quaker boxes, Hershey Quaker dinosaur mystery, kind of a mystery if you watch the spoiler on Patreon boxes, are shipping imminently, and that's really exciting. Um,
I
I
think mine.
will hope that it arrives before I depart,
Mm-hmm.
but if it doesn't, then it'll be a present when I get back. But yeah. The
Yeah.
other thing I got in the mail is Mandy's project for Stitch It For Me. So this is what Mandy wants to stitch. She is really keen about the sentiment. I collect floss and fabric, buttons and ribbons. A stitcher's passion is in her pattern collection, but has otherwise told us to go wild with this pattern.
Mm.
So Danielle started it, or no, Mandy started it, and replaced the bird with a tiny little Stitches. So if you don't know Mandy, her cat Stitches is a black cat. So she put Stitches in there. And so then Danielle's done the border, these hearts. We're going to put our initials on it. And like, really like D1990'd
Yeah.
that outfit.
Oh, it looks so good.
And Danielle kindly sent the flosses that she used, which are mostly Brennan needle. There's a couple other things in there in case we want to carry the color theme throughout the rest of it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in here, if I will continue with her or if I will do some other things. I might do some looking at what other motifs I might have that might go fun in there. But this will probably be like a May thing. I don't know that I'll work on it in April. But it arrived safe and sound, and it's here
I already like it so much more since
with
seeing
the colors. Yeah, yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I look forward to working on it when the time comes, when I'm done working on all the other things that I have going on.
Do you have any other plans?
Um, well, Monopoly will tell me. So I just finished my 4 in a row turn this morning before we started filming. So I've handed that off, and so it will just depend on how fast other people's turns go to see when I get it back. I have 2 patterns with birthdays this month. I didn't pull them out. I should have. My heart sampler, whose birthday was the 1st, so I have not worked on it yet. So I do want to work on that, give that a few days of love. And near the end of the month, my pirate Quaker, which I started at Stitch North last year. So I think I might. I mean, I guess it goes into May a little bit, but it'll be before you see us again. I might stitch on that while you all are at Stitch North and cry to myself about not being there. No, I
Well,
won't cry. I won't cry. Maybe I'll cry. We'll see. Um, so I'll work on those. And then for Pick a Whip, I already my transcribed tapestry for my 2023 start, and then the other one's a colorful fabric, which that would also fall into. But I think I'm going to see if I can pull out my antisocial cryptid club, which is on
oh yeah.
what is it called?
Throwback 90s.
Yes, throwback 90s, the like
Mhm.
vibrant green
Yeah.
Kaylee 10 stitch fabric. And that would like it's not very big. It's all
Mhm.
black, so just pull it out and stitch it to a finish.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm trying not to make too many expectations of myself, but I'm also going to have 2 weeks where I am not touching anything related to my job.
Hmm.
So
Very overdue for this. And I don't even bring your computer. You're not going to, right?
we can talk about it later. The Yeah, I'm not answering emails.
Okay. Um, that'll be good. 2 weeks. You'll get a bunch done.
Right?
You'll yeah,
Right?
you'll
Yeah.
get so much done. And you can get caught up on Flosstube.
Yeah. We should be good. Um,
My two pickle whips. So I already finished my 2023 start, which was my flamingos. And then my kaleidoscope is on a bright, colorful fabric, so that'll be my finish for that one. And then I'm gonna finish the mermaids, and then the other one I want to try to finish this month if I finish everything, is my patchwork turtle. So that'll be next on the list to finish. So I think I know I can finish these two for sure this month, and then I might just like do some work on the patchwork turtle before going to Stitch North. And then I'm gonna bring from Yalda to Nauru's to Stitch North, and I'm gonna try to finish it that weekend. I'm not
yeah,
gonna bring anything else.
I think you.
I think I could definitely do it if I just really focused.
Yeah.
And then if I do finish it, then I will hit something up and start something,
Yeah,
which will
which will
be
motivate you to finish it.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So plans,
Yeah.
and then
So
I'm find a way to store all of my new floss and
mhm,
maybe actually enter it in my Notion like I've been wanting to do for a while.
yeah. So our next floss tube will probably be the second weekend in May. Because the first weekend Megan's at Stitch North, I'm at a conference, and doing it the last weekend in April, I'm not going to be at home, and that also is like doesn't feel like very far from now either, right? So
No, it's like 3 weeks from now.
yeah,
And that's a busy weekend for me too.
we'll do it in
So
May, and then we got to figure out what we're gonna do in June since we'll be together for part of June. So we'll figure out what we might want to do and let you know by next
and
Tuesday.
it'll be our Floss Tube anniversary.
Almost, yeah, yeah. We should do a little in person something. Yeah. Okay.
Exciting.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Um, Hope that you got some good stitching in and that we didn't make you spend too much money if you watched the haul section.
I
Um,
mean, everyone else has already bought all of the night garden stuff, so hopefully I didn't. Well, I mean, and if I did influence you, then I'm not sorry.
yeah,
They're
right.
really good pattern.
You were probably going to buy fabric anyways.
We're
We're
gonna
just
buy
suggesting which fabrics you might want to consider buying, right? It's not that bad.
them.
Okay.
And let me know if you're gonna be at weekend two of Stitch North.
Or the Edmonton Stitch Retreat. We are both going to be at the Edmonton Retreat. There's going to be nothing will get in my way for that one. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be in Edmonton. Bye, y'all.